Living hostages freed by Hamas. Palestinian prisoners and detainees released by Israel. And President Trump takes a victory lap.
And I've heard for years, this is the biggest deal, it'll never happen. For years, long before I ran for office, that this is the Middle East. It's the biggest, most complicated deal. And also it's the place that could lead to tremendous problems like World War III. They always talked about World War III would start in the Middle East. And that's not going to happen.
But is this really the end of war? Or just the beginning of another uncertain chapter for Gaza and the wider region? Donald Trump's whirlwind visit to the Middle East was filled with spectacle and symbolism. He received roaring applause in Israel. And in Egypt's Sharm el-Sheikh, Trump and world leaders from over 20 nations gathered beneath a banner which read Peace 2025. But can Trump's plan truly deliver lasting peace?
Tell us when phase 2 of the negotiations will begin.
Well, it started. It started as far as we're concerned. Phase 2 has started.
The release of hostages and prisoners is just the first step towards a more durable peace. Many details regarding Hamas's disarmament, Gaza governance and full Israel withdrawal remain to be negotiated. Ahead of the release of the hostages and prisoners on October 13, Israeli troops withdrew to a line that has left them in control of 53% of Gaza, the first of 3 stages of Israeli withdrawal according to Trump's plan. A multinational force of around 200 troops, overseen by the US military, will monitor the ceasefire. The force includes troops from Egypt, Qatar, Turkey and the United Arab Emirates. US officials have said that no American forces will be on the ground in Gaza. The proposed strategy under Trump's 20-point plan says that Gaza will be demilitarized and that all military, terror and offensive infrastructure will be destroyed. Gaza will be initially governed by a temporary transitional committee of Palestinian technocrats, supervised by a board of peace, headed and chaired by Trump himself and involving former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair. Governance of the Strip would eventually be handed over to the Palestinian Authority, which administers the West Bank once it has undergone reforms. Hamas, which has run the territory since 2007, would have no future role in its governance, directly or indirectly, according to Trump's plan. Hamas's members would be offered amnesty if they committed to peaceful coexistence or would be provided a safe passage to another country. No Palestinians would be forced to leave Gaza, and those who wish to leave would be free to return. A Trump economic development plan to rebuild and energize Gaza would be created by a panel of experts.
In one sense, it's so horrible that it could have taken place, but in another sense, it's so beautiful to see a new and beautiful day is rising, and now the rebuilding begins. The rebuilding is maybe going to be the easiest part. I think we've done a lot of the hardest part because the rest comes together. We all know how to rebuild, and we know how to build better than anybody in the world.
There are likely to be multiple points of contention during the negotiations over later phases of the deal. Hamas is yet to hand over all the bodies of deceased hostages, and Israel fears the group may be hiding them for future negotiations. Hamas has refused to lay down its weapons, saying it would only do so once a Palestinian state has been established. Another sticking point is the extent of Israeli troop withdrawal. Israel says its first withdrawal will see it retaining control of around 53% of Gaza. The White House plan indicates further withdrawals to around 40% and then to 15%. That final stage would be a security perimeter that would remain until Gaza is properly secure from any resurgent terror threat. The wording here is vague and gives no clear timeline for full Israeli withdrawal, something that Hamas is likely to want clarity on. And although Israel has agreed to Trump's plan in full, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu appeared to push back on the Palestinian Authority being involved in a post-war Gaza. Hamas has also said it expects to have some future role in Gaza as part of a unified Palestinian movement. So without a clear roadmap for Gaza's governance, Palestinian statehood and Israel's security, Trump's self-declared dawn of a new Middle East could just as easily fade into another long, uneasy twilight.
fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.